Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to dive into a fascinating aspect of the Filipino culture that's super important to understand, especially if you're working with Filipinos or building personal relationships with them. It's a concept called Pakikisama, and I know I'm not doing that pronunciation justice, but it's the best I can do. So there's no real direct English translation, but it's all about getting along, maintaining your smooth relationships, and valuing group harmony. So stick around, because understanding Pakikisama can really help you navigate both business and personal interactions in the Philippines. So what exactly is Pakikisama? At its core, it's the Filipino way of prioritizing good interpersonal relationships. Think of it as that social lubricant that encourages cooperation and avoids conflict. It emphasizes being agreeable, helpful, and going along with the group, even if you might have a different opinion. This isn't just politeness, it's a deeply ingrained cultural value. You'll see Pakikisama in action everywhere in the Philippines. In families, it means respecting your elders and maintaining those strong bonds. In communities, it's about participating in local events and helping your neighbors. And yes, it plays a huge role in both Filipino workplaces and business culture. Let's look at some examples in a Filipino workplace. Pakikisama might mean agreeing with a senior colleague's suggestion in a meeting, even if you have reservations, just to avoid that potentially causing friction. It could also involve chipping in for a colleague's birthday celebration or going out for drinks after work to build camaraderie. In business, a Filipino partner might prioritize maintaining a good relationship with a client over immediately addressing a minor issue. So focusing on the long-term harmony instead. It's about creating a positive atmosphere where everyone feels comfortable and respected. So this emphasis on smooth sailing is a key characteristic of the Filipino social interactions. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky for Americans. Western culture often values that directness and individual expression. Pakikisama, with its emphasis on indirect communication and prioritizing group harmony, can sometimes lead to some misunderstandings. So in business, an American might interpret a Filipino colleague's agreement as some genuine enthusiasm, when it might actually just be an act of Pakikisama to avoid saying no or expressing dissent directly. So this can lead to misaligned expectations and potential frustrations when things don't go as planned. Similarly, that direct feedback, common in American business culture, might be perceived as confrontational or disrespectful in a Filipino context, potentially damaging relationships altogether. In personal relationships, an American friend might be confused, right? If a Filipino friend agrees to do something, but then doesn't follow through, right? This isn't necessarily a sign of unreliability, but could stem from a reluctance to say no directly to avoid disappointing the other person. Understanding that maybe, or an indirect affirmative, might not always be a firm commitment is crucial. Additionally, Americans who value open and direct communication might find the indirect approach to be frustrating or even perceive it as a lack of transparency. Pakikisama plays a huge role in personal relationships as well, particularly in mixed race relationships where you have an American man in a relationship with a Filipino woman. American culture, again, tends to be very individualistic, where a couple's relationship is a private unit. The Philippine culture, however, is very family-oriented. Pakikisama means that a Filipino woman's family is an integral part of her life and, to be expected, her relationship. An American partner is expected to embrace this. For instance, a Filipino woman might prioritize a family gathering over a romantic date, or her parents' needs over a vacation plan. A successful American partner would understand and accept this without feeling neglected or second place. So, how can Americans navigate Pakikisama effectively? The key is awareness and adaptation. Be observant of social cues. Pay attention to the non-verbal communication. If you're in a business setting, try to build that rapport before diving straight into tasks. In personal relationships, be patient and understanding. Instead of direct confrontation, try a more gentle and indirect approach when you're addressing concerns. Building trust and showing genuine respect for the relationship will go a long way. Pakikisama is a beautiful and important aspect of the Filipino culture. It highlights the value of community and harmonious relationships. While it can present some challenges for those from more individualistic and direct cultures, understanding and appreciating this concept can significantly enhance your interactions with Filipinos, both professionally and personally. If you haven't had the opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet, I hope you do so today, and I greatly appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.